Welcome back, Motorheads. This is Wagon Wednesday Finds on Facebook Marketplace. First, got a 1969 Buick Sport Wagon for $22,500. This is one great looking old Buick wagon here. I'm digging the shade of green. Even though I'm not a big fan of the greens, it looks really good on this wagon. And this wagon, from the pictures, looks to be exceptionally clean. Overall, I think this would be a good buy for somebody. I would definitely try to negotiate that $22,500 price tag, but I don't think this wagon's too far from that kind of price tag with today's crazy markets. Even though I don't agree with that crazy market price nowadays, this is still one incredible looking wagon right here. But what do you guys think of this old 69 Buick, and what do you think of that price tag? Make sure you leave it down in the comments. So I've been asked if we actually read your guys' comments. We absolutely read your comments, and we actually devote 2 hours after a video goes up so we can quickly reply. If we don't get to you then, we definitely strive to get to you within the next day or two. Next, got 1952 Mercury for $15,500. We got some great looking old Mercury here. This thing actually looks pretty dang clean. From the pictures, it looks to be in really nice shape, as you guys can see as well as I can. And I think this right here makes somebody a nice little wagon, nice little cruiser. I don't think $15,500 is too terrible of an asking price. I think I would definitely try to negotiate for just a little bit better price, because as we see, there's a couple things on the wood that needs to be redone. And let's face it, when it comes to redoing some of that wood on there, it really tends to get a little pricey sometimes, depending on what all needs to be done, because you got to find the right guy to do it right if you don't know how to do it yourself. But what do you guys think of this old 52 Mercury? Make sure you leave it down in the comments. Next, got a 1953 Chevrolet for $25,000. Got us a great looking 53 Chevrolet here, and if you've been watching the channel for a while, you absolutely know that I love the 53 and 54 Chevrolets, and the wagon is no exception. I'm kind of digging the patina on this one here. Now, the patina doesn't always look right on everything, and I don't say leave patina everything. I think it works on this car. Now, personally, the price tag on this car, I don't think it's necessarily at $25,000. Now, this car looks to be very well put together. I absolutely dig it, but I don't dig that price tag. Now, I could be wrong, but this is one of those ones you're definitely going to have to go look at in person before you actually make a real educated guess on what this car might be worth. But what do you guys think? Leave it in the comments. Next, got a 1959 Plymouth for $18,500. We got us a very cool old Plymouth here. Now, you know, this body style Plymouth is not necessarily the best looking under the sun, at least not in my personal opinion anyhow. Now, if you're a Mopar fanatic, you're going to argue, oh, it's the greatest looking wagon under the sun. You know what? It's not for me, but I think it is a very cool looking wagon. It's definitely got the face only a mother could love, like a lot of Mopars did back then. But like I said, if you're a Mopar fanatic, this might be right up your alley. I still think it's a very cool wagon. I respect the wagon, and it's probably not priced too far out to where you couldn't get a good deal, but I definitely would try to negotiate the price on this one here. But what do you guys think of this old Plymouth? Leave it down in the comments. Next, got 1966 Oldsmobile for $38,000. Got some great looking Vista cruiser here, and you don't come across these very often, at least not in the 66. At least I haven't come across any for quite a while. Actually, it's been a long time since I've actually seen one of these things in person. See the random ones online here and there, but anyway, back to this one here. Overall, from the pictures, the car looks to be in very good shape. I don't mind the way it looks, even though, you guys know I don't like red, a lot of red. The wagon looks good in red here. I'm not going to dispute that. It really does. Now, the price tag, $38,000. My personal opinion is he's reaching on the price tag on this car. I might want to take anything away from the car, but I just don't think there's enough of these on the market to know what a good price tag is on this car. And this is another one you're definitely going to have to be there in person to look this car over 100% before you even think about making an educated guess on what this car is worth as well. So make sure you guys leave it down in the comments what you think. Next, got a 1959 Ford for $25,000. Got some cool little Ford wagon here. Now, I'm digging the colors on this car. The body style of this Ford is probably one of my least favorites, but I think all around this car here come together pretty nice. Judging from the pictures, the car appears to be in fairly nice shape. And I don't think $25,000 in today's crazy market, like, you gotta bring that up again, it might be a good place to start at. I don't believe I would pay $25,000. Well, I wouldn't pay $25,000 one way or the other personally, because this is just not my style of wagon. But I know a lot of you guys out there absolutely love this body style. So you guys tell me, is it worth that kind of price? Leave it in the comments. Next got a 1959 Mercury for $19,995. This is a very cool 59 Mercury wagon here. Me personally, I like the Mercury wagon a hell of a lot better than the Ford. I do, however, think Mercury could have done a little bit better job on that front end. But overall, I just think the Mercury came out looking a whole lot better. That's my personal opinion. You know, I love the taillights on the 59 Mercury wagon versus the 59 Ford wagon. And I dig a lot of the subtle changes they made to the Mercury versus the Ford wagon. But overall, I think it's a great looking wagon. I don't know if I'd pay $19,995 for this one here, but what do you guys think of this old 59 Mercury? Do you like it better than the 59 Ford? Make sure you leave it down in the comments, and also let me know what you think of that price tag here on this old Mercury. Some of you guys have been telling us you haven't seen our videos popping up. We're not sure what's going on there, but go ahead and make sure you're still subscribed. And if you like today's video, make sure you hit that like button. Next got a 1964 Chevrolet for $47,000. Now, there's no disputing this is a very cool wagon. And I like this wagon. And, you know, I'm a Chevy person, but I'm going to tell you something. I really don't see that price tag on this car. I don't see anything about this car that absolutely screams or commends that kind of price tag. I could be wrong, but me personally, I don't feel that I am on this one here. But is it a great looking car? Abso-freaking-lutely. This is a great looking car, but I think they're swinging for the fences on this one, however. This would be a very cool wagon to own, but I think at the price tag, if you could get it at a fair price, you know, probably somewhere high 20s, maybe low 30s, and that's just judging from the pictures, it might not be a bad deal. But what do you guys think? Leave it down in the comments. Next got a 1972 Mercury for $17,500. Here's another cool old wagon you don't come across very often, the 1972 Mercury wagon. And I actually, from the pictures, don't think this is a bad looking car. I'm kind of digging that old pastel banana yellow that's got going on here. It actually brings the car together, and it screams early 70s. I mean, this is what it is, you know. It could be worse, could be Harvest Gold. But overall, I don't think this wagon is in too bad a shape. I think the wagon is very clean, and from the pictures, it appears to be either maybe a true survivor or somebody's done a fairly decent job of bringing her back to her former glory. But what do you guys think of this old 72 Mercury, and what do you think of that price tag? Make sure you leave it down in the comments. Next got a 1960 Chevrolet for $22,000. Now, even though the 1960 wagon is one of my favorites from Chevrolet back then, this one here, I just don't see the price tag on this one here. I think it's in too rough a condition for that price. You know, if you could get it at a fair price, you're going to have to get it a whole lot better than 22 to risk putting any more money in this car. I think a lot of people have gotten too far into these reality TV shows and given them false hope that just because it's old, it's worth tons of money. But what do you guys think? Leave it down in the comments. Next, got a 1966 Pontiac for $24,500. Well, as a lot of you guys know, I'm a sucker for them old Pontiacs, and this old wagon here is no exception. I think this is a great looking wagon. I'm still not sold on the price tag of this wagon with the limited pictures this poster has put up to try to sell this car. I think they should have took a little bit more pictures if they were completely serious on that asking price. But what do you guys think of this old Pontiac and that price tag? Next, we got a 1965 Ford for $14,000. Now, I know this old Galaxy here is not going to be for everybody. Me personally, I'm digging the patina with the wood on this one here. I think this car looks right this way. It's kind of roached out, and I don't necessarily mind that. The $14,000 price tag, I would probably try to get this a little bit less, but I don't think at $14,000 in this stupid, ridiculous market is too terrible of an asking price. Overall, I think this wagon would make somebody a pretty cool little hot rod. I mean, if you're into the wagons anyway, and you like patina, this is one. It's a pretty cool one to start out with, but I definitely would try to go under that $14,000 mark if I could. Definitely look this thing over. Look it over very well before you make any kind of financial decision on what you're picking up, especially when it comes to an old car if you're not real knowledgeable about putting one back together or actually fixing things yourself. If you gotta take it to a shop, keep that in mind as well. It's going to cost you some money to get things right. and sometimes parts are kind of hard to find and you have to play MacGyver and build your own parts sometimes. But what's your guys' thoughts on this old Ford here? Leave it down in the comments. Well, that's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.